There's a reason no nation dares to challenge the United States military, because it doesn't just defend, it dominates. For decades, one power has stood above all others, not by chance, but by design. This is the power no one dares to test.
Every empire has fallen. Every power has been tested, except one.
There's a reason no nation on Earth dares to challenge the United States military. It's not just about size, money, or technology. It's about dominance built over decades of strategy, innovation, and unmatched global reach. From the moment World War II ended, America made one thing clear: it would never be caught unprepared again. Every branch of the U.S. military, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Space Force, works like parts of a single machine. Each has its own purpose, but together, they form a force capable of striking anywhere on the planet within hours. When other nations see American aircraft carriers moving across the ocean, they don't just see ships. They see floating cities of destruction, each carrying dozens of advanced jets, guided missiles, and thousands of highly trained soldiers ready for any mission. Behind this power is a network of over 750 military bases spread across more than 80 countries. That's not a coincidence. It's a deliberate design, a global presence that allows the U.S. to respond instantly to any threat, anywhere. Whether it's the deserts of the Middle East, the icy waters near the Arctic, or the jungles of Asia, America already has a footprint there. And then there's technology. The U.S. military doesn't wait for the future, it builds it. From stealth bombers that disappear from radar to drones that can strike from miles away without risking a single soldier, the U.S. invests billions each year to stay a generation ahead of everyone else. But the real reason no country dares to fight the U.S. isn't just about weapons or money, it's the message. Every major conflict since the 20th century has shown that challenging America means facing an enemy that never backs down, never forgets, and never fights alone. When you provoke the United States, you don't face a country. You face a system, a living, breathing force of alliances, technology, and precision that has rewritten the very definition of power. What most people don't see is the invisible web behind America's strength. It's not just its soldiers or ships, it's the alliances, intelligence, and global influence that make any challenge almost impossible. The U.S. doesn't stand alone, it stands at the center of a network of nations bound by trust, trade, and shared defense. Take NATO, for example. It's not just a military alliance, it's a warning to anyone thinking about testing American power. An attack on one member is an attack on all. That means if someone dares to strike U.S. forces, they won't just face America, they'll face the combined might of over 30 nations, each ready to respond. That's a fight no single country can win. Then there's intelligence. The CIA, NSA, and other U.S. agencies have a reach so deep and wide that very little happens in the world without them knowing. Satellites orbit high above, watching military movements, missile tests, and even troop deployments in real time. Advanced AI systems analyze every signal, every radar ping, every transmission. Before an enemy even thinks of acting, America already knows what's coming. This constant awareness gives the U.S. a weapon more powerful than any missile: information. Wars are no longer won by who fires first, they're won by who knows first. And when it comes to intelligence, no one matches the United States. But perhaps the most overlooked weapon is influence. American culture, media, and economy shape how the world thinks, buys, and even dreams. From Hollywood to Silicon Valley, the U.S. doesn't just dominate battlefields, it dominates minds. When your economy depends on U.S. trade, your technology runs on American software, and your people consume American culture, going to war against that same power becomes unthinkable. So, when we ask why no country dares to challenge the U.S. military, the answer isn't just fear of bombs or battleships. It's because America has built a system where every path of conflict leads to self-destruction, for the challenger. Every major power in the world has studied the U.S. military, its strategies, its mistakes, and its victories. But what they've all learned is simple: fighting America isn't a war, it's suicide. History has already proven it. When Saddam Hussein's Iraq challenged the U.S. in the early 90s, the conflict was over in weeks. American jets owned the skies, precision missiles hit with surgical accuracy, and ground forces moved faster than anyone thought possible. What followed was not just defeat, it was total collapse. The same pattern repeated in Afghanistan, in the Middle East, in every conflict where the U.S. decided to act. Even when America faced guerrilla warfare or complex terrain, it adapted, evolved, and struck back harder. Its enemies might win small battles, but they never win the war. That's the lesson the world remembers. But what really makes the US untouchable is its nuclear deterrent. With thousands of warheads, each powerful enough to erase entire cities, the United States holds one of the strongest second strike capabilities on Earth. Even if an enemy somehow managed to land a devastating blow, the US could retaliate with unstoppable force. Every world leader knows it. There is no winning scenario in a nuclear fight with America. And yet, power alone isn't what keeps the peace. It's the discipline behind it. The United States doesn't launch wars carelessly. Every operation, every response, is calculated, backed by diplomacy, intelligence, and strategy. That balance between restraint and readiness is what makes the US truly dangerous. It's not a country driven by impulse, it's a superpower that knows exactly when and how to strike. Even rivals like China and Russia understand this balance. They build up their militaries, flex their muscles, and issue warnings, but none of them want a direct confrontation. Because deep down, they know one truth: the US military is not just strong, it's relentless. Once it moves, it doesn't stop until the mission is complete. The force that guards the world. The reason no country dares to challenge the US military isn't only because of its might, it's because of what that might represents. The American military isn't just a war machine, it's a guardian of global order. For decades, US power has kept the world's major shipping lanes safe, protected allies from invasions, and stopped conflicts from spreading beyond borders. In many ways, America's presence has become the silent rulebook of modern civilization. Every US soldier, pilot, and sailor carries more than a weapon, they carry responsibility. The strength of the US military gives smaller nations the confidence to stand tall, to trade freely, to live without fear of being overrun. That's something no other country has been able to provide on such a massive scale. And while critics argue that America's reach is too wide or too forceful, the truth is undeniable. When disaster strikes, it's the US that arrives first. Earthquake in one country? American planes deliver aid. Piracy in distant waters? US Navy ships patrol the coasts. Cyber attack on an ally? American experts step in to defend and rebuild. This constant readiness has made the US not just a military superpower, but a global stabilizer. Still, maintaining this power isn't easy. Every year, billions are spent on research, defense, and development. Thousands of lives are committed to service. Families are separated, and sacrifices are made in silence. Yet, through it all, one message stays clear: the price of peace is eternal vigilance. That's why no nation truly wants to challenge America. Because to fight the United States isn't just to face a military, it's to face an idea. The idea that freedom, security, and innovation can exist side by side, and that anyone who threatens it will meet a force too powerful to defeat. In the end, the US military doesn't seek war. It prevents it. And that's exactly why the world still hesitates before even thinking about testing its strength.